there and make some runs. In fact, the first couple of shots we played were a bit dicey, but he went on from there.
Well, we'll see in this dismissal. It was quite a controversial one because technically Mark Taylor is the man who probably should have gone.
Yes, well, it was a run-out situation, and David Byrne hit the ball, and according to what Mark Taylor has said, he called running, which is an unusual call, and Mark Taylor thought he was saying waiting, and so he stayed within his crease. But when the bails were taken off, in fact, Mark Taylor was about a foot out of his crease. So by looking at it technically, Mark Taylor should have been the one to be dismissed.
Yes, well, 2 fours in that innings, but what a great hand again it was from Mark Taylor. 52 in the first innings, and then a magnificent century in very trying conditions, and this innings really oozed class before he was out for 101.
Well, it was an outstanding performance, no doubt about that. He tried the sweep shot there. He didn't play that very often during his innings, but just getting a top edge on that occasion. But an invaluable innings for Australia.
So 11 boundaries, and he was out there for 322 minutes facing 241 balls. And then we saw something of a collapse from the Australians, as we saw in the first innings, where 4 wickets fell for just 8 runs. It was on again in the second innings, and Dean Jones, who hadn't looked terribly comfortable, fell to Wasim Akram.
Dean Jones really hasn't looked too good against the bowling of Akram on the several occasions that he's faced him, and once again, just not really picking the swing of Akram and being caught in front LBW.
2 fours in that innings, but it was a very tentative one, and I suppose the battle's going to continue with Wasim Akram in Adelaide. Dean Jones had a lot of trouble with Richard Hadley going back a couple of seasons. And then the 5th Australian wicket to fall, Steve Waugh, who made 20 in the first innings, and he's been troubled by the ball that moves away from him outside the off stump, and also the short pitch delivery. Yes,
he plays with a lot of flourish, Steve Waugh, and he does get his feet across to the ball on most occasions. He really tried to withdraw the bat here, and again, the bounce was what deceived him, and he just wasn't able to get the gloves out of the way. Just a very fine edge off the gloves.
Facing just 3 deliveries. Well, we can't say the same about Peter Sleep, because he faced only 1, and what a magnificent delivery it was first up from Wasim Akram.
Well, this fellow has just so much variety, and this was the magnificent in-swinging Yorker, and he bowled it on several occasions, but Sleep was just no answer to this one at all. Very elated bowler.
So again, it was that fast full-pitch delivery that brought about Peter Sleep's demise. In the first innings, he was taken by a fast swinging full toss, and Peter Healy then, or Ian Healy, then had to survive the hat-trick. So Wasim Akram has been on a hat-trick twice in this match. Healy did that. He got a very good ball first up, but then he made a very good hand of 25 runs with the total of 260 before Ian Healy was dismissed.
Yes, well, of course, Ian Healy copped the in-swinging Yorker too from Wasim Akram, but he managed to survive that, and he did very well in that, after that, and he's really been a great acquisition to this side.
Yes, and his batting, Alan, has really improved, hasn't it, during this series?
Oh, it's improved out of sight, yes, unbelievably so, and he's looking confident, not only in his batting, but of course he's looking so confident with his keeping as well. I think the whole thing is just oozing confidence, really, and it's something that perhaps hasn't got together over the time that he's been in the Australian side, but he's certainly looking good now.
So Merv Hughes was with Alan Border from the start of play, and his reputation as a batsman is certainly growing. He did a grand job with the Australian captain and played some tremendous strokes too. Yes,
he certainly did. We were just saying before that Big Merv has had, I think, something like 17 innings since that big test match in Perth when he got 8 wickets, and only on 5 occasions has he scored under 10 runs. But just no answer here to the very quick delivery from Akram.
So Australia declaring after 63 minutes, 51 balls for Merv Hughes in his 32 runs, 4 boundaries. Australia declaring at 8 for 312 after Terry.
It was made easy after Alderman ducked into a bouncer from Akram.
Oh, and that's a nasty one. It's hit him on the head, and Alderman has gone down.
That incident prompted the Australian skipper to close the innings and give the Pakistanis just over 20 minutes at the crease before lunch, chasing 429 to win. With Alderman recovering in the pavilion, Big Merv took the new ball almost with instant success. But in the first over after the break, Hughes had Amir Malik snapped up by Taylor in slips for a duck, and Pakistan 1 for 4.
Mark Taylor in brilliant batting form and excellent catching form.
Alderman was back on the field at first slip and was quite happy to dispense with the headgear this time. And almost combined with Hughes to send Mohammed back to the dressing rooms after keeper Healy was deceived. Rackerman and Hughes continued to soften up the opposition before Alderman struck. Mansour plumb in front for 14.
Oh, that's got to be out, yes.
Shoaib answered a good bouncer with an equally good hook for the first 4 of the innings after an hour of play. But Hughes enticed him once too often, and an awkward bouncer this time had Pakistan reeling at 3 for 31.
That's a very good bouncer from Merv Hughes.
Javed Miandad and Ijaz added some stability to the innings, Miandad notching his 50 of 74 balls. But the Australian skipper turned to Steve Waugh to break the partnership. In his first over, Miandad's knock of 65 came to an end.
Oh, plum.
Ijaz and his captain, Imran Khan, are Pakistan's main hopes of forcing a draw, with Ijaz 46 not out at stumps.
Test at the MCG. They've been set 429, a fourth innings target no team has ever achieved to win a test. The more likely scenario is an Australian victory with 6 wickets required. Australia resumed at 7 for 260, and Alan Border didn't feel at all inclined to protect Merv Hughes. Swerven Mervyn repaid his captain's faith with a very handy 32, pushing Australia with confidence beyond 300 before pushing in hope at Akram.
Caught, must be caught.
Terry Alderman came on and walked into trouble, and Border, figuring that even Alderman would have trouble bowling without a head, declared on the spot, setting Pakistan 429 for victory. It was a big ask, made bigger still when Hughes picked up Amir without scoring.
He's out, Mark Taylor.
Alderman then showed, despite his earlier knock, he could still think batsmen out, trapping Mansour. And when Shoaib dollied one, Pakistan at 3 for 31 had fallen something short of the start they were looking for. The game's grandest fighter, Javed Miandad, guided Pakistan to tea and beyond with fine support from Ijaz. Not intimidated by Hughes, the partnership added 103 when Steve Waugh was called on to break it. Miandad had made 65, the scalp Australia really wanted. Helped by a short break for rain, Ijaz and Imran held out till stumps. It was 159 runs down, only...
Australia finally wore down Pakistan today to win the first test by 92 runs with only 9 overs to spare. Ijaz Ahmed made a real contest of the match with 121, while Terry Alderman was the tourist downfall, finishing with 5 for 105. Pakistan faced the task of getting 270 runs or surviving a full day at the crease. Ijaz finally reached his half-century.
Good shot. That's 50 for Ijaz. And well
Hughes set the trap for Imran, but Rackerman failed to capitalise, and another chance off Hughes' bowling went down. The Pakistanis hit out when Border brought sleep into the attack, but the chances still went begging.
Oh dear, that sounded from here like a nick.
Ijaz and Imran were working towards what seemed a century partnership until Alderman took the new ball.
That's a bit closer. Yes, he's given him.
Ijaz was punishing the bowling and the Australians punishing themselves.
What happened here now? Oh, dear me.
It wasn't a big crowd at the MCG, but they enjoyed an enthralling battle as Ijaz brought up his ton.
Just a little short, very good shot, that one.
Alderman to Yusuf, and Australia back on top.
Another big appeal for AUS. He's given him his time.
6 for 291. Akram had taken 11 wickets, and Pakistan now needed him to make runs. Peter Sleep had other ideas.
Well, that's turned and well caught by...
Still Pakistan were defiant, although Rackerman literally shattered Tusev's defence.
And he's gone down again. I tell you what, he's hit... Well, this bloke's had a dreadful time this test
But
match.
Ijaz was still chasing runs until Marsh pulled off a spectacular catch.
Oh, my goodness me. What an extraordinary catch.
A stunned Ijaz out for 121 and Australia closer to victory. Alderman back into the attack and first ball trapped Yunus for 4.
It's close. He's got him. Yes, good change.
Finally wrapping up the tail, capturing his 5th LBW victim of the innings.
Big shout there, and he's given him. Umpire McConnell has given the 5th LBW to Terry Alderman.
Wasim Akram's 11-wicket haul earned him Man of the Match award. Meanwhile, spinner Peter Taylor has been recalled for this week's second test.